start with Oliver, who's on his phone eating breakfast, obviously ready to start school. Oh, headphones in, I didn't even bring that up, yeah. Okay, the goal here, oh, before I forget, I know some people were in the room. I'm planning on filling out the calendar for the rest of the trimester because we only have 4 weeks left. But the test is this Thursday. I know it was written up there and most of you already knew that. But, so today's the last day on section 3. Tomorrow will basically be a review day / finish anything up. Thursday will be the test. Any kind of questions on that beforehand? Maybe something you're wondering about or anything? It's just going to be on 5-1, 5-2, 5-3. Oh, it's been a long weekend. I'm trying to remember what 5-2 was. 5-1. So first, 5-2 was on absolute extreme on a closed interval. 5-3 is first derivative test, what we're doing right now. 5-1. Oh, yeah. Boy, that feels like a long time ago.
Because it was a long time
The rest of this
ago.
try, my guess is 2, including the one Thursday.
So one.
Oh, wait,
I thought we were gonna get to 6 like
well, we are gonna get to the middle of 6 by the end of the try. The issue that we might run into is, like last trimester, we didn't give a test at the end of the try because of people switching around. And it works a lot easier for retake purposes if we give it the beginning of try 3. But the downside of that, which we might not do, is because try 3 starts after spring break. So that would be like a week and a half for you guys. So we aren't sure what we'll do yet. So we might give a test at the end of the try. We might just wait and do all of 6 in one test or so. So we'll think about that, but we at least have 2 more tests for sure. This one and the end of 5.
Okay, that's like.
Oh, for sure. So I can tell you what we did last year is once we got to try 3. What are you doing? There's no way you're cold in this room. Hi, thanks. When we got to try 3 last year, we knew we weren't gonna have enough time to finish teaching everything before, I think last year was like May 4th or something. It's not May 4th this year, but, so we really had to rush. So what we did is we taught all of the units without taking any of the days away for testing of any type. And then we did all the testing after the AP test. Because we have roughly 4 or 5 weeks after the AP test. And AP test absolutely screws up a schedule. And so that's what we did actually I think we've done it the last 2 years. And it's looking like we're gonna do that again this year, but we'll find out, we'll see where we're at the end of the trimester. But that's usually what we did so that you guys didn't feel rushed trying to get through all the material. And strangely enough, most students actually kind of loved that plan. Not at first, like it sounds horrible. But like say when we go through our units, say like I gave you a test on the power rule right now. Like you guys should absolutely dominate that test, right? Because you've been doing it so much along the way that it feels easy. And that's kind of what ends up happening with 6, 7, and 8. Because 6 is the beginning of integration, and then 7 and 8 add on top of that, like you use integration. And so like by the time we get there, taking the Unit 6 test was very easy for most people. Unit 7 was relatively easy and 8 was the newest one, but by the end of the year, you had so much time to get ready for it that it wasn't an issue. And so it sounds like a horrible plan, but it actually worked out pretty well the last couple of years. So we may or may not do that. the hard part about that now is like the retake stuff. So, we'll figure it out. But 2 tests this trimester for sure. Okay. Oh, Oliver, I called on you like 5 minutes ago. So, this page, we're basically trying to draw a function with the information they give us. There's gonna be lots of correct answers. Would it be easier for you to tell me what to do, or easier for you just to come up and kind of go through this? I'm okay with either. Tell me what to do, all right. Or would you like me to do one first, and then have you tell me how to do the second one? Or do you, I don't know how easy this feels to you, that's what I'm trying to get at.
If you're just sketching out, wouldn't it just be like the first one?
Like a parabola?
Well, it's going from negative to positive.
Okay, so let's start with the first thing it says though. F of x has an absolute minimum at c. Well, we have c right there, and it actually doesn't matter where you put that point because it's just gonna be the bottom. And then you are correct. It says f prime changes sign from negative to positive. Negative would be drawn like that, positive like that. So this is the rough sketch. I'm purposely drawing it like this because this is what section 6 is gonna be like. But what you said was 100% correct. Now, it actually doesn't matter if you make it a smooth curve or a V, whatever you want, because it doesn't say anything except that's the bottom and that's negative slope, positive slope. I'm gonna make it smooth because the straight lines bother me. And that looks sort of like an angry face of some sort, so we're gonna. Okay, good. Mila, we need to wake you up. Do you think you can help me with B? Well, how should I start this one?
Start with a positive slope on the left. Draw.
No,
What? Can you just draw a curve?
no, I said where should we start?
Oh, what do you mean?
We have to have a point to aim towards.
Oh, well, it's,
Yes,
high
so
point
you
is-
just pick a random spot,
yeah,
but that random spot is the top.
yeah.
What you said after that was perfectly correct.
Okay.
So it's gonna have a positive slope on the left of it, which means it's going up towards it, and then a negative after it. No, good. But you went right back to sleep. Oh dear. You had 3 days to sleep. I had to sit here all day yesterday and listen to, well, very boring things.
How was the writing?
Use mine?
I was slightly upset because we didn't really even use it. I took time out to actually do that. And then we didn't really do anything with it. So, sure, great. F of x has no local extrema at x equals c because f prime of x is greater than 0 for all x greater than 0 and is strictly monotonic. Oh, I don't think I ever brought up that word. Monotonic means that your whole function either is increasing or decreasing. Let me rephrase that. Monotonic means your graph does not change directions. So it doesn't have to be only increasing, it can go up, flat up. It just can't increase then decrease. Or the opposite, it's just one direction. That would have been a good banjo. I feel like I should have planned that one better. Oh, are you trying to tell me how to draw it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start by making a point for C. I think I missed, but let's go with that.
Can you just do a diagonal line going from 0 upwards? Like just x equals 1.
Like a straight line? Yes. So, if I would have drawn a flat line here, don't write this one down. If I would have done this, this would have been incorrect. Even though it sort of sounds like it, right, because this isn't a max or min, why would this one be wrong though?
Because it says f prime x is greater than 0.
So the derivative has to be positive everywhere. It can't be zero. If there would have been a line like this, then this would have been okay. But it has to be positive everywhere. So what you told me works perfectly fine. You can make it a straight line, or you could make it a curvy line, doesn't matter. All that matters is that we made it positive for quadrant 1. Okay, good. And this, I want to say this is pretty much negative immediately on either side of x squared. Let's see. Well, this one's phrased differently. Actually, I should have somebody come up with that. Vasya, you are on your Chromebook laptop. Number 1, close that. Let's focus on Kelly. Come on up. Okay, so this one says the slope is negative on both sides of that point. And then it says it has neither a max nor min. It's definitely different phrasing than this one. And there's probably quite a few ways we could draw this correct. How do we draw a negative slope on both sides? Which, even if you just make a short chunk of a line, what would that line look like? Yep, on both sides. Nope. I know that feels correct.
Like,
Yep.
okay.
Now, no, that's good. That works. Get rid of that. Oh, perfect. So if you wanted to draw a straight line like we did on this one, that would be correct. If you wanted to draw the other weird one, like that, that would also be correct because it's still negative on both sides. Good, that's it.
Wait, so on that line, there's no maximums or minimums?
Nope, because that flat line wouldn't be a top or a bottom, and it's just considered nothing. The one on the left feels wrong, even though it's correct, because C isn't anything. It's just like a normal point. So when it says, I wish the phrasing would be different. I wish they would say that C was a critical number. Because if C was a critical number, it would have to be a slope of 0 or undefined. But this one just says it has no local extrema, which really doesn't say anything at all. Okay. I wanted to do one of these two at the bottom. I don't know which one would feel more difficult. I'm thinking this one, but maybe that one. I guess it's kind of up to you guys. What would you find more difficult? A rational extrema, like a rational expression like the bottom one, or something that needs a product rule? Probably a product rule?
Yeah, the top one.
Okay, because I'm thinking, let's see the real test. Spencer, what's a critical number over a 3-day weekend? Good. Derivative is 0 or undefined. I think a product rule derivative probably would be more difficult for you to solve than a quotient rule derivative, but I could be wrong. Like this one's going to have 3 critical numbers. This one should have 2. I mean, just by looking at the pictures. Okay. Well, let's find the derivative. I'm trying not to sneeze. First, I want to write this as x to the 2/3 because that's going to be a lot easier for product rule purposes. Okay, so h prime. Spencer, I'll let you choose somebody from this section.
Matt.
apologize, man, I should have just. Thought I was being clever, trying to tell me couldn't call somebody right there. Can you help me find the derivative?
So it would be 2/3 x to the negative 1/3 times x minus 2 plus x to the 2/3 times 1.
Perfect. Okay, now, finding the derivative alone is not bad on this one. It's solving it. So, Matt, we need somebody to help me solve this, because that's gonna be almost all the work on this one. This section.
It's
Do you pronounce it Prabhath or Prabhath?
Prabhat.
Prabhath. How come you never corrected me before?
I mean, like, a lot of people make,
I know, but like, I'll never say it correct if you never. All right.
how many people have names similar to mine?
To be fair, I don't think there's another Duncan in the school either. Alter egos do not count. Okay, Prabhath.
Let h dash of x equals 0.
Oh, true. I guess what I was hoping you would tell me is, how do I solve that?
Multiply, divide by 2 by 3 on both sides.
What?
Divide by 2 by 3 on both sides.
Divide by 2 by 3.
2/3, 3/3.
Why?
We can get rid of the multiple.
Oh, get rid of the fraction? Oh, true. I'm not gonna do that though. That actually is the least difficult part of this problem.
Okay, can we take the x to the power 2 by 3 over to the right hand side and then cube the entire equation?
That sounds like a good idea. The reason we don't wanna do that is if you move this over and then cube it, you accidentally add more answers, they call them extraneous solutions. So if you change the degree of a problem, like what I thought you were gonna tell me is move this over and then divide by something. If you change the degree, it actually changes the number of correct answers you get. So, along the same lines, these are like terms. They have different power, but they're like terms. And if we're gonna run into this a lot, where the derivative, the easiest way to solve a derivative is to have it factored. Donald,
Yes, sir.
get off your phone.
Yes, sir.
I feel like we found a new person. No, it's like stuck in my mind now, the wrong name. Donald, how do we factor out the x? Why? I thought you were looking it up.
I should have read it
Yeah.
right. Take out the x, I mean, you could divide both sides by x.
I thought you were gonna say divide by 2/3.
Or no, not divide by 2/3, divide the sides by x.
Okay, do you want me to give you some assistance beforehand?
Please.
Okay. If I made these easier numbers, what would you take out of there?
Oh, I take out a 6x, or x
Six.
is 6.
Yep. So the power that you factor out is the smaller of the two numbers.
Yeah.
So what would I take out?
Negative.
-1/3. Okay, good. Now, when I factor out x to the -1/3, this entire one would be gone. And I'd be left with 2/3 times x minus 2. I'll actually just multiply that out so that it's not written terribly annoying. Okay? And then what would be left on the right-hand side? Or I can go back to the 8 and the 6 one if that makes. if it helps guide you here. You decided to take out 6 because it was the smaller of the two numbers.
Yeah,
How many would be left?
2,
Okay, and you get that by taking
you subtract.
that number minus that.
Yeah, so
2/3 minus negative 1/3,
is just 1.
3/3, good. So this will just be an X. I'm totally out of room as well. Okay, do you wanna keep going, or you want somebody else to go?
I can keep going.
Okay?
I would see if you combine like terms from there. So you'd have
5/3.
5/3 x minus 4/3.
Okay, what do I do from there? But you're correct, I'll just write that on the next. I feel like this should be easy enough for you guys to do that I don't need to write it down. It should be.
I'm just gonna write it down just so I can see. Yeah, then distribute the x to negative 1/3 again.
I definitely don't wanna do
No, you
that.
don't wanna do that, we just took it out for a reason.
Yeah. What do you do when something is factored equal to 0?
You can make, you can separate them, just divide.
Set each factor equal to 0.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do x to the negative 1/3. Sorry, forgot. Moved everything around in my room yesterday. And then this would be 5/3 x minus 4/3. Okay. It's like one of those little idea bulbs from a cartoon. This answer is gonna be 4/5, like multiply by 3, add 4, divide by 5. So there's one critical number. I don't know who we should go with. Donald, pick somebody not in that section. When I say that section, just your little group.
Yeah. Marvel.
Marvel. How do I solve x to the negative 1/3 equal to 0? There's actually quite a few ways we could do it.
So you could do 1 over the cube root of x.
Okay, I absolutely, kind of running out of room here. I guess I'll write that over here and then erase it or something. 1 over cube root of x equal to 0. Sure.
Times
Okay.
cube root. Wait, but it's
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah, that doesn't help at all.
That's impossible. Because it'll be undefined.
Correct. There isn't going to be an answer to this. The numerator has to be equal to 0 for a fraction to be equal to 0. It's already 1 and you can't change that. So, this does tell us what though?
It's undefined.
Which tells us
And it's a extreme, so it'd be x.
x equals 0 is a critical number. Because x can't be 0, that is also a critical number. Okay, so we did a lot of work just to get 2 critical numbers. Then we'll get down.
That's 6.
Walter, where do I go from here? I've got 2 critical numbers. I need to erase just to save space, but
Just plug them into the original function.
why? Oh shoot, I need the derivative.
Just rewrite it small.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of garbage. Why would I put them back in the original function?
To see the y value, to see if they're, oh wait, no, give it to.
Weirdly enough, everybody, they keep asking, when I ask you guys what to do kind of first, has been telling me to plug them in the original function. Is that what you guys do on your, like, when you do the problem on your own?
Put it on the number line.
Yeah, you have to make the number line. But everybody keeps saying to put them in the original function, which isn't wrong, it's just way early, so it doesn't tell you anything.
Cause we did it for like the mean value theorem or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah, we did.
We actually have to plug values before and in between and after the critical numbers for the slope to see if it's a relative maximum or minimum.
Okay, perfect. 0 and 4/5, okay, oh, nice. Okay, now I'm gonna save a little bit of time, only because we have the picture. But what you said was perfect, we're gonna pick a random number in each section and test it in the first derivative. So h prime of -1 would be positive, only because I'm looking at the picture. H prime of, ooh, this one's actually a horrible, annoying one. I guess we'll go with half. 0.5 might be the easiest. I don't know. A number between 0 and 4/5, there's not really any good ones. So luckily, we'll pretend that we know that answer is negative already. H prime of 1 would be positive. Okay, so we know it is increasing, decreasing, increasing. Emily? We filled out the table. Actually, I don't even remember, I forgot what we were trying to find. Oh, just the relative extrema. I didn't know if this was intervals of increasing, decreasing or not. Okay, so how do we decide relative extrema now?
Well, now you would actually put it back into the original function, right?
Okay, we could. So 0, I believe is 0. Yeah, 0 times whatever. So that one. 4/5. Somebody plug this one in already? I don't think it's -1, but it's gonna be close. It's probably a little bit bigger than -1, like -1.1 or something. It's gonna be -6/5 times the cube root of 16/25.
Well, what if we get a calculator and we'll just
What was it, would you roughly get it?
-1.034.
Perfect. Not a good answer, but I wasn't really expecting one with the cube root of a square. Unless it's 0 or 1 or something, the answer's not gonna work out nicely. Neil? Now that we found the points, how do we determine if it's a max or a min?
If it's like increasing up to the point,
Then that would make it
a max, if it's increasing up to the point of making a maximum.
half correct. If it changes from increasing to decreasing, so like this one, increasing to decreasing, then that's a relative max. I mean, you meant it correct. The only reason you can't explain it the way you just said is it could go up, flat up. And then this one changes from decreasing to increasing, so that makes it a relative min. And then those are the coordinates, because it wanted coordinates. If this was a question, like on the test for you guys, I would definitely allow a calculator, because trying to plug in 0.5 in the derivative and then trying to find that by hand is kind of annoying. If you had to find this point by hand, do know that I would accept -6/5 times the cube root of 16/25. Like you would just write it like that, because that'd be the exact answer, but I can't envision a scenario where I'd make you write that. So that would be a calculator question. Okay. There isn't anything more to the first derivative test that we haven't done. The only thing that I wanted to do was to take time to go over different kinds of examples, because that's the only thing that makes it more difficult. It's the exact same steps all the time. Find the derivative, find the critical numbers, make the number line with the critical numbers, test the numbers in each section, and then determine if it's a max or min from there. Like, it's the same steps. Definitely what is more difficult is the derivative solving to zero or undefined, like critical numbers. So that's what's different in every question. But that's pretty much the whole section. Tomorrow, I don't think we've made a test yet either. I don't know if Mr. Stouffer made one yesterday or not, but if not, I'll try to make one up tonight. That way I'll at least know what kind of questions are on the test to tell you about. If not, I mean, we can pretty much already say, because there's only 3 topics, that's all the questions. Every question's gonna be from that. I don't know, anything else? Okay, I'm hoping that you've already started your homework on 4.3, or 5.3. If you are just starting it now, that's probably a bad move, because they go so slow. They go very slow. Homework is due Thursday, 3:06.
What day is it?
Today's Tuesday.
Wait, so what are we gonna do?
It's due test day at the end of the school
Oh,
day.
never mind. Okay.
Yep, it's due test day at the end of the school day. So most of you should have it done tomorrow. Like, that's when it's supposed to be done. I know some of you like leaving some of it to the night before the test, which is a terrible way to study, but doesn't matter what I tell you. So anyway, tomorrow I'll definitely leave time to help you with anything you want help with. I will see if I can put together an outline. We'll try to get ready